Welcome to my channel, ladies and gentlemen, and the latest update from Raila Odinga's interview panel is that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka has decided to attend the interview panel in Serena Hotel. He arrived there some minutes past 11 a.m. in the morning and then attended the session. Then after that held a press briefing with the media outside there. And his reason for attending it was that he was saying he doesn't want to give them an excuse, or rather to give Raila and Uhuru an excuse that he avoided the interview panel. Raila Odinga was meeting partners from Mount Kenya, and he was doing country tours asking them whether he should go and vie. And on 10th December in Kasarani, he made it clear that he was going to vie. Now, I have tried to look at his campaigns and his campaign team since he announced his bid and broken down that campaign tire to 5 levels. I want us to look at these levels because critically, recently, Deputy President's UDA party had complained about the ICT Cabinet Secretary Joe Musheru and Ezra Chiloba's push Joe Musheru making a statement that they are playing some critical role in Raila Odinga's presidential bid. And they were also skeptical about the critical role that Ezra Chiloba was playing in this election when he was asking for new registration of the lines in Kenya. If you look at the political scene, the Deputy President's campaign team are in panic. And what is making them panic is the kind of concentration that the government and other partners within the country are investing in Raila Odinga's presidential bid. And let me say something that many people don't put into consideration, that forming government is not just merely winning the vote. If it is as easy as winning the popular vote, then 2007 Raila Odinga would have been announced to the president. And if it is as simple as that, then the 2017 IBC server might have been opened. But those two is not just, those two indicates that it's not just about the winning the popular vote. And to add on it, Chris Musando wouldn't have passed on if it is just about winning the popular vote. So one thing I understand is there is a bit of investment. And William Ruto has the advantage of money, of injecting finances and oiling his campaigns. But that is basically to woo the popular vote. But one thing that I have, if you've been keen, and when I give you the 5-tire Raila campaign machinery, you will draw the lines between Raila Odinga's team and what William Ruto is actually depending on. In fact, I'll try to do also a critical analysis on William Ruto's side for us to have an understanding comparing on Raila Odinga and William Samoei Ruto. Ladies and gentlemen, before we delve deep into this, if you are watching this analysis and you have not yet subscribed, I want to humbly request you to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell. And I'll also remind you about Installite company. They have amazing packages on power backup systems. So if you stay in a place where you have difficulties of power blackouts, then this sometimes interrupts our daily activities. Whether you run a school or an institution, you need a power backup system, I want you to reach out to Installite company. They have amazing packages from 125,000 to 195,000 depending on what suits you need. I have also understood that good news from them is that they can integrate your water heating system with the solar power. So go solar. Contact Gideon here. His number is 0722 818 883. So I want us to sink in this and break it down for you. Raila Odinga in February announced the team, that his campaign team, known that are in charge of strategy and partnerships tier. The strategy and partnerships tier is the one that is chaired by Laikipia Governor Ruto who is an economist from World Bank and worked in World Bank. And by the way, he's one of the most formidable Mount Kenya leaders that are behind Raila Odinga. Immediately from the onset of Azimio la Umoja, when Lee Kinyanjui, it started off with Lee Kinyanjui. Then after Lee Kinyanjui, Ruto Muridi then also came in board, and by that time he was also working with the minor commander. So the rest of the team came to Azimio later on, but Ruto Muridi is the chairman of that team. Elizabeth Mayo is the secretary of the team and is bringing a great wealth from World Bank, and not from World Bank, but from Kenya Revenue Commission. Paul Mwangi, a seasoned lawyer that has been with Raila all through during the BBI process. This team also has Charity Ngilu and Oparanya. Now, one thing you will realize is it is not normally very visible. The only person that is visible, that is normally invisible here, is Elizabeth Mayo, because she's not more into the campaigns, but the rest of the team, if you even Paul Mwangi is not mostly in campaign. I think Elizabeth Mayo and Paul Mwangi are more on the software aspect. They do a lot of paperwork, but Ruto Muridi, Charity Ngilu, Oparanya, and some other members of this team, their critical role is strategy and partnership. Now, when Raila speaks about the 6,000 pledge, when Raila and people ask about how is he going to deliver it, this is the team that is tasked with delivering the 6,000 pledge. When they talk about the partnerships, so let me explain something. If you see Charity Ngilu here and Oparanya, Charity Ngilu was part of the 3 governors that came in Azimio to take the front seat. And the part of partnerships in terms of who do we need to be in our table, or who do we need to be the board, this is the team that is tasked with that responsibility, especially day-to-day activity. They're the team that decides where they are going to have the rally, which day. If there is a central tour, if there is a Mount Kenya tour, or rather if there is a Western tour, this is the team that is tasked with that. Now, that is tier number 1. There is another, they also scrutinize policies that are spoken about in rallies. When Raila speaks about Baba Care and all that, they're the team that advise on how this will be delivered and how Raila would actually customize that. So there is the powerhouse of Raila Odinga's campaign. This is the fundraising team. Now, the fundraising team, when you talk about presidential campaign, it's a very rigorous process and it's demanding a lot of finances. So this is, if you ask me, this is the backbone of Raila Odinga's presidential bid. It carries CSK Macharia, Equity Chairman James Mwangi, Peter Munga, and also has Peter Kenneth. And for avoidance of doubt, this is where President Uhuru Kenyatta also comes in. So if you remember the Mount Kenya Foundation billionaire meetings that were going on, that team was there. It was really being, they were the ones that were speaking about how they support one candidate or the other. And at one point, Raila was saying that in 2007, it is the fundraising team that were around Mwai Kibaki that once told him that you have won the elections, but you're not going to be announced to the president. And that was the late Chris Kirubi. So he has gelled with this team. It is most likely invisible. By the way, it is this team that Peter Kenneth also belongs to, is a member of this club. And it is most likely invisible. Now, if you look at CSK Macharia, is a long-term friend to Raila Odinga. And I think he's the person that then is the eye of this team in Raila Odinga's campaigns. He is the insurer of the fundraising team interest with Raila Odinga. The third tie is election machinery. The election machinery is one of critical reasons, and this is where also President Uhuru Kenyatta also belongs, where winning an election or winning a presidential campaign, as I mentioned, is not merely on the vote, but there is also the vote protection unit. There is bit of the machinery, oiling the software bit. The software needs to be oiled. Now, this team involves Joe Musheru, Ezra Chiloba, and CS Matiang'i. When you to listen to Matiang'i saying that, don't dare me. Don't dare me. In fact, I was telling Deputy President that you should not dare him. That means he has a lot of information around Deputy President that he can't release. Now, that is the software. The machinery, when Joe Musheru was talking about the critical roles and assignments they have, this is something that has been there. If there is an extension that government can do to make sure that Raila Odinga gets the support, and these are some of the aspects that Raila has been missing in the previous general elections. But with this, the safety of the vote. By the way, someone was telling me, and I don't know, I can't challenge me, that Raila Odinga just needs his votes to be counted free and fair. Where everyone who voted for Raila is counted, that vote is for Raila. Just with that, he'll be in a position to win this election. So long as the integrity of the election is clear, well, where because he gets votes from all over and there have been always been issues of manipulation, he's in a position to win. Now, there is a unit that is closest to my heart. That is the fourth tier. That is the Presidential Communication Unit. That is where I belong. But I don't work for Raila, of course, but I belong because my space is communication. That is my niche. These are the custodian of messaging, packaging, propaganda, and opinion or popularity. Let me make it messaging, packaging, popularity, and propaganda. Propaganda is a political tool. So I see sometimes I look people in this channel, maybe subscribers complaining, oh Kevin, why this, why that. Propaganda is also a political tool. And so some of these things, when they happen, there's some things that happen not because they're not politically significant, but they happen because it is already an executed plan to achieve some objective. This team has Makau Mutua, Denison Sarigo, and a couple of other people that work behind the scene. Now, I want to mention one of the two things they do. Raila Odinga's communication team is the monitoring and evaluation unit of his popularity. By the way, they're the people that sieve different opinion polls and what they project. They can also commission their own opinion polls to see, okay, fine, if Raila is going to Mombasa, what is his popularity there? This team can make that. And this is coordinated from the first tier, that one of strategy and partnership. So after all this, maybe if the strategy and partnership there is something that has happened. For example, he wants to respond, like today was just giving a press briefing. The people that package this information on what people need to know. For example, this is the crisis communication team. When people are leaving Azimio and they need to craft a propaganda like what I was listening to Janet Mohammed saying in Kajiado yesterday, that you know what, Alfred Mutua has had some family issues, so he cannot be trusted. Or even what I think Tuju was also saying that they had earmarked Alfred Mutua and Kingi as moles within Azimio. These are all, they may not have evidence, but they are all political propaganda. Then the manifesto packaging and messaging, especially one that I noted, if you're keen, when Raila was questioning why Ruto is giving the churches money, he was making an own goal. I think he was stabbing his own foot because there are people who benefit from that. And then I think this team might have advised that then one, drop the attack on churches on the basis that they receive corruption funds from Deputy President. So it's realized a way of just making Deputy President look corrupt. But when you invoke the churches, when you put the churches together, there has been the way the communication is done. Number two, they have really tried, and this one I want to say successfully, this team has managed, packaging the 6,000 pledge. The 6,000 pledge is being personalized. Why they talk about we're a single mother, you're there, young girl umeachana na bibi, umeachana, bwana amekuacha, maybe a body is in the mortuary. You know, when you make it, when you put this real life situations into it, that packaging makes that information relational. And this is the team that does that. Now, lastly is the Sky team. Sky team is campaign team, second tier. There is one that is led by Raila and is led by Joho, Sabina Chege, Ledamo Lekina, Kanini Kega, and Junet. This is the team that were doing campaign when Raila was in India, if you remember. And there is a choice, there is a conversation that is coming online that Sabina Chege might be Raila's running mate because he can lead the Sky, she can lead the Sky team. In essence, that Raila is not doing campaigns or Raila is away, this Sabina Chege can lead this team, and she's the leader of the Sky team, not even Hassan Joho. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my analysis on the 5-tier Raila campaign team that really, if you look at it, it's try to ask yourself, what does William Ruto have on the other side?